Hi guys, welcome to our social science class. Today we are going to start a new unit number 5. In this unit, we will learn about our past. We will also talk about different things which happened some time ago. How was the life in the past? What are the most important historical facts? And also, you have to know that it is very important to know everything, more or less, about our history, because we can learn from it. For talking about the history, we have to know, guys, what happened in our past, what is happening right now in our present, and also what will happen in the future. For doing that, we can use a timeline. A timeline is a representation about facts that happened maybe in the past, in the present, or maybe facts that will happen in our future. What is history for you, guys? History is the study of the past events. This includes people, places, events, and also ideas. Events that happened yesterday are history today. For example, what happened maybe 10 years ago for us today is our history. You have to know that historians study history. They study what happened in the past. They find evidence from the past and they interpret them. They try to understand and explain the changes that have happened through the history. How can we talk about the past? For talking about the past, we have to divide the time in different periods. We have to know the difference between a year, a decade, a century, and also a millennium. 1 year ago means 1 year in the past. In this case, for example, 2019. 1 decade is a group of 10 years. 1 century is a group of 100 years. And 1 millennium finally is 1,000 years. It's very important for historians to know that for talking about what happened in the past. Let's going to talk about now the 5 main historical eras that we have in our history, guys. The first one is the prehistory. After that, ancient history, Middle Ages, Modern Age, and finally the Contemporary Age. One of each historical era represents an important period in our history. All of them have an important event. Let's going to start talking about the prehistory. Prehistory means before humans started recording. This period finishes with the invention of writing, what at the same time is the beginning of the ancient history. Ancient history ends with the fall of the Roman Empire. When the Roman Empire falls, we have a new period, the Middle Ages. The Middle Ages finishes with the European colonization of America, the new continent. The following period is the Modern Age. The Modern Age is referred to the centuries between the colonization of the new continent, America, and the beginning of the French Revolution. Finally, we have the Contemporary Age, which goes from the French Revolution to the present day, so nowadays. Now, guys, we are going to talk about how historians can learn about the past. Talking about history, we have to make a difference between primary sources and also secondary sources. Primary sources are a description of an event from someone who was there to talk about it. Secondary sources, they are a description of an event based on a research or told by someone who was not there to see it. Some examples of primary sources are diaries, journals, speeches, autobiographies, or even photos or videos. However, secondary sources are textbooks, biographies, informational books, and so on. As you can see in this picture, this is an oral source. It is related to the spoken words such as stories, legends, and recordings of people speaking about their lives. These stories went generation after generation. Do you know what is that? This is a record playing, and this is part of audio sources. Audio sources give us information with music and songs from the past. We can know a lot from them. As you can see in this picture, this is a paper, so it is included in the written sources group. In this group, you can find documents, letters, newspapers, and also books which tell us information about what happened in the past. Guys, can you see this old photo? This is a graphic source. Guys, can you see this old photo? This is a graphic source. Finally, we will talk about physical sources. As you can see in this picture, these objects were collected from the past. They can give us important information about what happened in our past.